The kitchen is the most used room in the home. It's also the one most people have stopped thinking about. Not because it doesn't matter, but because the upgrades that actually change how it looks, how it works, and how it feels have been hiding in plain sight. These 10 products change that. And by the end of this, your kitchen will never look like a room that's finished. Every overcooked meal in history has one thing in common: guesswork. The moment you stop relying on timing and start relying on temperature, cooking changes entirely. That's what the Chef IQ Sense Gen 3 Smart Thermometer delivers. 5 sensors, 4 internal, 1 ambient, track the temperature of your protein and the environment around it simultaneously, feeding real-time data to the Chef IQ app with accuracy to within 1 degree Fahrenheit. Flip reminders, rest timers, and estimated completion times arrive before you need them. Hundreds of chef-developed presets handle everything from brisket to salmon. And with Wi-Fi unlimited range, you can monitor dinner from anywhere in the house. Pair it with the IQ MiniOven, an 11-in-1 countertop oven with a 3,200 RPM DC motor that cooks up to 30% faster than conventional air fryers, and you have a complete smart cooking system that works as a single unit. The thermometer talks directly to the oven, adjusting temperature and timing automatically based on what's happening inside the protein rather than what a recipe says should be happening. Precision cooking, finally accessible on any countertop. The kitchen starts its day before anything else does, and most kitchens are starting it wrong. Drip coffee makers have existed for decades, and most of them make the same fundamental compromise: convenient, but incapable of producing a cup that justifies the coffee going into it. The variables that determine a great cup, bloom time, water temperature, pulse timing, flow rate, have been fixed from the beginning, set at the factory, and never touched again. The fellow Aiden treats those variables as the entire point. SCA certified, meeting the Specialty Coffee Association's rigorous standards for brewed coffee quality, it controls water temperature, pulse timing, and water flow independently across each phase of the brew cycle, automatically replicating the core principles of a manual pour-over without the technique. A built-in bloom phase pre-infuses the grounds before the main brew begins. Temperature is adjustable to a single degree between 200 and 210 Fahrenheit. Guided brew profiles for light, medium, and dark roast set every parameter automatically. Custom brew profiles let you input and save your own recipes. Brew scheduling starts the cycle before your alarm goes off. You wake up to coffee that was already made the right way. At $3.99, it's the last drip coffee maker you'll ever buy. Water damage costs the average homeowner $12,500 to repair. The most devastating part isn't the cost, it's that most of it was preventable and nobody knew anything was wrong until it was already too late. A pipe fails slowly before it fails completely. An appliance hose develops a hairline crack weeks before it gives way. A slow drip behind a wall runs silently for months, growing mold in a space you'll never think to look. The kitchen tap is running fine, the sink looks normal. Nothing feels wrong until something catastrophically does. The Moen Flo Smart Water Monitor changes that equation entirely. Installed on your main water line, FlowSense technology learns your home's unique water usage patterns over approximately 7 days, then monitors 24 hours a day for anything outside of what it knows. Leaks as small as a single drop per minute are detected and flagged. A catastrophic leak, a burst pipe, a failing appliance hose, triggers an automatic shutoff before significant damage begins. Daily micro-leak tests run in the background without any input from you. Real-time pressure, flow, and temperature data is visible in the Moen Smart Water app from anywhere. 7 major insurance providers offer discounts for households that install it. And within the first 30 days of installation, 60% of homeowners are notified of a leak they didn't know they had. Water damage can be quite devastating. The flow is where it gets solved before it even begins, for the whole house, at $549. And this is where the kitchen itself starts to look different. Most wall ovens do one thing: bake. Everything else, air frying, microwave reheating, convection roasting, requires a separate appliance, a separate footprint on the counter, a separate cable to plug in. The Café Smart 5-in-1 wall oven with Advantium technology collapses all of that into a single built-in unit that doesn't just cook faster, it cooks differently. Advantium uses halogen light and microwave energy simultaneously, a combination called Speed Cook, to cook food up to 8 times faster than a conventional oven while preserving the surface browning and texture that microwave-only cooking destroys. A roast chicken that takes 90 minutes in a standard oven is done in under 30. All 5 cooking modes, speed cook, convection bake, convection roast, microwave, and warming, are available without switching appliances or changing cooking vessels. Built-in Wi-Fi connects to the Smart HQ app for remote preheat, cook monitoring, and over-the-air feature updates that add new cooking capabilities without replacing the hardware. An in-oven camera lets you check on food from your phone without opening the door and losing heat. Interchangeable hardware, handles, knobs, finishes, customizes the look to match any kitchen design direction. 5 appliances, 1 opening in the wall. Currently listed at $3,373.
But a kitchen that works better isn't just about what it produces. It's also about what it stops wasting. Every kitchen generates organic waste constantly. Vegetable peels, coffee grounds, eggshells, fruit cores, leftovers that didn't get finished. In most households, that waste goes into a bin, then into a bag, then into a collection that ends up in a landfill, where it generates methane gas rather than anything useful. The USDA estimates that 30 to 40% of the US food supply is never eaten. Most of it takes this exact route. The Lomi 3 puts it on a completely different one. A countertop composter in a footprint 36% smaller than previous generations, it accepts food scraps, kitchen waste, and even certain compostable packaging, then heats, grinds, and aerates everything through a cycle that reduces the volume by up to 80% and produces Lomi Earth, a pre-compost material rich in organic matter and microbes that goes directly into garden soil, lawn applications, and plant beds. A dual charcoal filter eliminates odor entirely. 2 optimized cycles plus a self-cleaning mode run without manual intervention. Wi-Fi connectivity and app control track usage and monitor cycles. What leaves your kitchen as waste returns to your garden as something genuinely useful. Starting at $579.
And what if the kitchen didn't just manage what it produces, but grew what it needs? Fresh herbs are one of those ingredients that change a dish completely. Basil picked seconds before it hits a sauce. Rosemary still holding its oils. Cilantro that hasn't spent a week in a plastic bag losing everything that makes it worth using. The difference between fresh and refrigerator-stored herbs isn't subtle. It's the difference between a dish that's good and one that's memorable. The LetPot LPH-Max brings that difference into the kitchen permanently. A smart hydroponic growing system with a 10.8-liter water tank and 20 growing pods, it grows herbs including basil, rosemary, thyme, cilantro, mint, parsley, and oregano alongside small fruits and vegetables, cherry tomatoes, strawberries, sweet peppers, and cucumbers directly on a countertop or under cabinet installation. No soil, no outdoor access, no seasonal limitation. An AI-powered grow light system automatically adjusts spectrum and intensity based on the growth stage of each plant, cycling through a natural light schedule that optimizes photosynthesis without any manual input. Nutrient levels, water levels, and light schedules are all monitored and managed through the LetPot app. The system alerts you when water needs topping up and when plants are ready to harvest. Plants grow 2 to 3 times faster than soil-based methods under controlled hydroponic conditions. Fresh basil growing 3 feet from where it gets used. Cherry tomatoes picked off the vine while dinner is still on the stove. Starting at $119, with the herbs themselves costing nothing after the first harvest.
There's a moment that happens in almost every kitchen, multiple times a day, that nobody talks about. You turn on the tap, and you wait. cold water runs, sometimes for 30 seconds, sometimes longer, until the hot water finally arrives from wherever the heater lives. That water goes nowhere useful. It disappears down the drain every single time in every household where the water heater isn't close enough to the kitchen to make it instant. The average home wastes between 8,000 and 12,000 gallons a year doing nothing but waiting at the tap. The Watts Heat H2O hot water recirculation system was built specifically to end that wait. A pump mounts directly onto the hot water outlet of your water heater. A thermostatically controlled sensor valve installs under the furthest sink from the heater. Together, they create a continuous loop. When the water in the hotline cools below 98 degrees Fahrenheit, the pump pushes it back to the heater via the cold water line, keeping the hot water supply line at temperature throughout the entire home at all times. No return line required, no additional electricity under the sink. A built-in 24-hour programmable timer sets the system to run only during peak usage hours rather than continuously, saving energy without sacrificing the instant delivery. Installation is DIY friendly. The kit includes everything needed and no plumber is required for most standard setups. Turn on the kitchen tap. Hot water arrives immediately, every time. Up to 12,000 gallons saved annually in water that would otherwise go down the drain waiting. At $317, it pays for itself in water savings within the first year for most households.
And then the kitchen does something most people assumed it simply couldn't. Smoked food has always required the outdoors. A grill, a dedicated smoker, outdoor space, the right weather, a commitment of hours that most weeknight dinners don't accommodate. The GE Profile Smart Indoor Smoker removes every one of those conditions. It burns real wood pellets inside a sealed catalytic system that eliminates smoke exhaust entirely. No ventilation required, no open window needed, no smoke alarm triggered. 5 adjustable smoke settings and 6 preset food modes deliver everything from delicately smoked salmon through competition-grade brisket, all monitored and controlled through the Smart HQ app from anywhere. Auto Warm holds food at serving temperature when the cook finishes. Real wood smoke, real barbecue flavor from a countertop appliance that works indoors year-round in any weather in any kitchen. At $564, it's the upgrade that makes people stop and ask how it's even possible.
Science fiction has imagined the vibrating blade for decades. It shows up in Star Wars, in Dune, in Evangelion. A knife that vibrates at impossible frequencies to cut through anything with almost no resistance. The technology behind it has existed in industrial cutting machines for years. Getting it into a chef's knife that works in a home kitchen took 6 years of development. The Seattle Ultrasonic C200 debuted at CES 2026 as the world's first ultrasonic chef's knife. And what it does is exactly what the science fiction promised. Press the orange button on the handle, and PZT-8 piezoelectric ceramic crystals begin expanding and contracting at a microscopic level, causing the blade to vibrate at 33,000 times per second. You can't see it move. You can't feel it in your hand. But the moment the blade meets food, it behaves as though it's sharper than it physically is. Tomato skins part without resistance. Soft bread releases no crumbs along the cut. Delicate proteins slice cleanly in one motion. The vibration reduces required cutting force by up to 50%, eliminating the tearing and dragging that dulls both the cut and the cook's patience. A 3-layer San Mai blade of Japanese AUS-10 steel hardened to 60 HRC. Removable battery charges via USB-C with over 20 minutes of continuous ultrasonic operation, enough for most home cooking sessions. IP65 rated for water resistance. The knife that cooks in science fiction we're always imagining. Now available in your kitchen, starting from $399.
And then the kitchen stops being a collection of smart appliances and becomes a single, unified, intelligent space. The refrigerator is the center of the kitchen in a way no other appliance is. It's the most open object in the room. It holds the inventory that determines what gets cooked.
It's the surface where notes get left, where calendars are checked, where the day gets planned. Samsung built the bespoke AI 4-door Flex with AI Family Hub to match that centrality, to make the refrigerator not just a storage unit, but the intelligence layer the kitchen has been missing. The most immediately striking element is the AI Family Hub, a 32-inch vertically oriented full HD display embedded in the upper right door, powered by a 1.8 GHz 6-core processor with 3 GB of RAM. This is not a screen stuck to a refrigerator. It's a complete computing platform running Samsung's Tizen OS, offering access to streaming services, recipe libraries, calendar management, shopping lists, and full SmartThings smart home control. The ability to see and manage every connected device in the home from the kitchen. AI Vision inside changes the relationship between the refrigerator and its contents entirely. Internal cameras take a snapshot every time a door opens or closes, and an AI model identifies and tracks up to 33 fresh food items automatically. Check what's inside from anywhere via the SmartThings app, while standing in the grocery store, knowing exactly what's already at home. Expiry date tracking reduces the waste that happens when things get forgotten at the back of a shelf. The physical design matches the intelligence inside it. Bespoke interchangeable door panels allow complete color and finish customization. Matte white, navy blue, stainless, charcoal to match any kitchen aesthetic.
The Flex Zone drawer converts between fridge and freezer temperatures across 5 settings, adapting to whatever the household needs at any given time. Auto-open door responds to a light sensor tap with no grip required. A beverage center delivers filtered water 2 ways without opening the main door. Triple cooling maintains independent temperature and humidity in each zone, fresh food, freezer, and Flex Zone, preventing the flavor transfer and moisture migration that happens in single cooling systems. A UV deodorizer runs continuously. Energy Star certified. The refrigerator that turns the kitchen into the smartest room in the house at $3,499.
10 upgrades. One kitchen that finally matches the effort you put into it. Not just smarter, more precise, more aware, more efficient, and more satisfying to spend time in. A kitchen that grows its own ingredients, manages its own water, cooks with the accuracy of a professional kitchen, and tells you what's inside the fridge while you're still at the store. That version of the kitchen exists right now, and it starts with whichever upgrade on this list caught your eye first. Subscribe for more, and links to every single product on this list are waiting for you in the description below.